YouTubers, how you guys doing? This is Matthew Tolles one more time, coming to you with a requested tutorial on how to sing with more power or with a lot of power. First of all, before we even get into a power video, let's start with your basic opening or your basic open sound. What do I mean by open sound? I'll give you an example. Kiki Now 21, I was able to hear the song. The young lady's name was Dondria, and Dondria's story is amazing. So if you're ever on YouTube and you look her up, she's on Monique's show. This was a few years ago, and she gives her story on how she got started, and it's a touching story. If you have a dream, go for it. You fight, you scratch, you claw. And that's what she did. But this song is called You're the One. I'm not even going to do the complete verse, but the way the song starts out is very simple, very subtle. Now, there's a difference. When I heard Kiki, the way you did the song, when I heard you do it, and I listened to Miss Dondria do it for the first time, I never heard that song before, I immediately noticed an approach difference. Of course, you don't want to sing exactly like someone else. That's not what I'm saying. But the approach was different. And it's not that she sang with power, but the intensity in what she was singing was there simply because she was more open when she sang. And I'll give you an example. When I listened to you sing it, it was something like, I don't believe we were put together not to be together. Now, just singing that, I don't believe we were put together not to be together. Listen to the difference. I don't believe we were put together not to be together. I didn't do anything simple. I still sounded pretty much straight, but the difference was you were singing with that tone, as I discussed. It's the tone that you sing when you're singing a song and you hear it in your head, like with me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch. If you notice, I got a bit louder. It was a bit more intense only because I opened my throat and opened my mouth and the throat. And what it is it's like singing in a bathroom. It resonates within you. And it's like it resonates within you and then it comes out. So what you're doing is you're creating an open sound and you're not singing loudly. I don't believe we were put together not to be together. Now listen to this. I don't believe we were put together not to be together. For you, your initial step is to just open up and sing. You don't have to try to get into major power just yet. Just get used to you singing like the way I'm talking. Here's the difference. If you ever think about when a balloon is filled with air, if you deflate that balloon, if you hold it by the little spout, the potential power behind it doesn't change. But what you're changing is the amount and the pressure that comes out. It's the same as when you're singing. You're actually choking it. Sometimes we choke ourselves when we're unsure. Like this. Watch this. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch, that saved a wretch. I didn't change the volume, but what I did was I changed my approach. As you change your approach, the quality of sound and a lot of things you do will be different. Now, you want to take enough breath and have support, and your diaphragm is going to push. And that whole tummy tightening thing when you sing, it's going to happen naturally. You don't have to try to do it because now you're putting more stress on your body while singing than you need to. Breath control is really just inhaling, and while you're singing, that's a natural exhale, and you can learn how to control that over time. I'll go into that sometime later. But I don't believe we were put together not to be together. I don't believe we were put together not to be together. Difference of volume. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. It's opening up, and enunciating helps more too, with your ahs and your ahs and your ahs. Amazing grace, amazing grace, amazing grace, amazing grace. It's all in how you approach it. And as you continue to control that, then you can go into adding more power. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound. It's not coming from here. It's coming from here. All you're doing is controlling your notes and your pitches with your vocal cords. But your volume actually comes from how you push. Look at this. When you talk, if you talk, or when you talk, all you have to do, if you put your hand here, you can feel your diaphragm push in. Naturally, that's what happens. So in just controlling your volume, the first basic thing, in my opinion, I stand for correction, is to open up and sing. As you open up and sing, or if you close it up and sing, it's not actually whispering, but you're choking your sound. Not a dangerous choking, but you're choking out the sound. But as you open up and talk, it's more full. And that's the first basic. So I hope I was able to help you with this basic tutorial. And my next one, I'm not sure what it will be, but I do want to get to that one that's talking about runs and riffs, the speed of them, and control. Control is a big component of it, but we'll get into that later. I hope that I was able to help someone. Miss Kiki, I hope that was the first step in you learning how to actually control the quality of your sound and the initial stages of volume control as well. You have a good one, and God bless.